What is going on, everyone? It's your boy Tony on the charts, and I'm just going to give a quick BTC update on the Bitcoin chart, just going from the higher time frames down to the lower time frames, and actually a trade that I've taken out earlier in the week and how I see playing out. So just starting with the monthly chart at the moment, I think just one thing, just as a reminder for others as well, is just if you're new to trading, the ideas of kind of looking for confluence and divergence. I mean, that's what we had at the very top, where price made new highs, but actually the RSI was making lower highs. And then actually, if we start looking on the most recent price activity, everything going up to the FTX kind of collapse. Again, another divergence where obviously price was actually making lower lows, but the RSI was moving sideways. So that's just some high level considerations there anyway. But the first thing that I always do is plot monthly levels. So this is exactly what I have, and monthly levels just areas where these monthly candles seem to be attracting attention, whether that's a close or a wick. So for us, we are currently kind of moving and hovering around a monthly level, which we'll come back to. If we go down to the weekly level or weekly charts, I'll bring in my weekly levels, and there are some new ones that kind of come up. And again, we still have a heavy weekly level, roughly where we are at the moment. So, a lot of talk and speculation. Well, there's a lot of talk and discussion around the 25k being just such an important resistance, just for this kind of gap that these two big candles have caused. But essentially all these weekly and monthly levels and daily levels kind of converging over that one single area. That being said, I do like a little bit of Elliott Wave analysis, and I think just the things to kind of point out here is just looking at the higher level count in the circles. We had the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which I think a lot of people kind of agree on now. And then the kind of question is, has the kind of correction that we've experienced really kind of come to an end? And I think there's a general consensus when we look at a very clean impulsive 5-wave count out of this, there is a kind of a case for it. So we'll look at that on a lower time frame in a moment. But as I said, we've got the weekly time frames, and then a bit of traditional TA in the sense of just kind of maybe looking at the shapes. That we've spoken about this downward channel and the breakout, and we had back here a little retest, a retest off the downward channel, but we're moving within this upward channel at the same time. So hence, if you how much you want to observe these or follow shapes and patterns, that you could expect a break to the downside ever so slightly. But I'll show you as to why I believe there is a little bit more downside to come. So now if we start getting even closer and we start looking at the daily time frame, the daily chart, but also the daily levels, I mean, that's 3 times now: monthly, weekly, daily levels, all hovering around the 25k area. If you like, as I do, traders reality, we've got, if we were to look at the candles, these heavy vector candles, or these these imbalances in the charts are regions kind of absolutely to be reclaimed. And I believe, as a few people have already shown, using the fixed volume profile, I mean, even if let's just take it, well, let's take it up to, we'll take it all the way across. I mean, it's the same point that we've made on Jason Casper's videos and Tino's videos, but this above 25k, above these levels, there is no volume. All of the volume right now is kind of sitting underneath us, so hence the kind of expectation for price to pull back. But I'll show you from an Elliott Wave point of view, I'm still anticipating that pullback as well. And that is because if you go to the Elliott Wave on the daily, this is what I was talking about the 5-wave breakout that we're seeing at the moment. Let me overlay that. There you go. In brackets, the higher count. So let's focus on this. So if this being in the kind of bottom, we've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and kicking off a correction. Because, I mean, look at the clarity, I was talking about Elliott Wave and the breakdown of the fractals. Let's look at, even below that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC correction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, another ABC. And then if you were to go down to the 4-hour chart, you can just trust me on this one, there's 5 waves there taking you to the top. So if this is on a larger time frame, a 1 and a 2, that can typically I mean, the second wave typically retraces quite deep of that ABC, and it can go anywhere. It's technically possible, anything up to 99.99%, to come down to these lower levels. But more often than not, that's where kind of the golden pocket comes into its own. So hence this kind of anticipation of this kind of reaching lower lows, maybe around the areas of where this price action has hovered previously, a bounce back, and then coming down to that kind of golden pocket or close to maybe around the 20k region before carrying on and upwards for the wave 3. And it's only with really looking at that kind of, even if we're going to the high, I mean, there's no volume continuing to suggest that we're going to be smashing through the kind of the 25k region at the moment. And it's for those very reasons that I've kicked off this short position, which I initiated at that top when it looked like that the fifth wave of the 5 waves going up had completed, and that's still going strong. But I'm going to keep this trade open all the way down to the golden pocket, but I'll probably take profit when it comes down to the 21.6k region. And the reason I just kind of came to that conclusion was for everything that I've just said, of just the kind of the confluence of all the resistance at the 25k level. If we, for the Elliott Wave count I've obviously just made, as well as just looking at the kind of vector candles and everything that Tino talks about, it's like 3 pumps to the upside for the market maker to be getting in a position to have a sell off to get the better price for them. So you could argue what the 3 areas would have been: 1, 2, and 3 to the upsides. Like the green candles kind of represent not just it's not counter to kind of like what maybe some people might expect when they see big candles and big green movements. Say retail traders who are just going to be expecting continuation and that we've broken the trend. Those are opportunities to be exploited by smart money or market makers and the like. So that's the trade that I've got open at the moment, and I will be leaving open. And tune in and I'll give everybody an update on how that performs next week. So see you all soon.